All right. Good night and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. Welcome, everyone, to another segment of Think Big Inspiration. Tonight, we have some guests with us tonight. That is going to be a lovely night. They are in the backstage, and they are waiting to come on. So we're going to have them on shortly. But I just wanted to jump in and say good night and good evening to everyone, or good evening, good afternoon, good morning to some of you. And it's good to have you here. If you're in the chat, if you're coming on, if you're going to be catching the replay, on this channel, we talk about motivation, encouragement, building confidence, using words of affirmation, and great inspirational, uplifting content. So if you have not yet done so, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you will not miss in live stream or a upload. Okay, so drop a comment in the chat, like and share this video. Replay viewers, please do the same when you come in. And I am so happy to be here tonight with these two guests. They are doing great in their community, and we're going to get into that shortly and have them on the show. But before I do, I'm going to jump in the chat because I think I saw a few people jumped in, and we're going to say hello. And then we'll we'll bring them on, and then we'll do some affirmations. I think I'm going to do that tonight. We're going to bring them on, and then we'll do some affirmations. So, of course, they are already in the chat as well. They got in the chat as well, saying, looking forward to some fun conversations tonight. And we have Sammy Superstar in the house as well. Good evening, Sammy. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello as well. Good to have you in the chat. Let's see.
We're unmuted.
Great. So I'm going to pull up this site because I want to have this open for you guys as well.
So Sammy is in there.
Where is it? I didn't miss this. There it goes. Okay, perfect. And of course, my daughter is here as well. She's always here. She's always saying hello. She's always jumping in, saying hello to everyone that's here as well. So, hey, Haley, glad you're here. Supporting mommy as always. She's always here saying hello. So good to have you here in the chat. So with no further ado, I'm going to bring them on, right? And then we'll get right into our affirmation. We'll get right into affirmation. Well, welcome. And we have Blind Guy, his wife, their life in the house tonight. And I want to welcome you guys for first accepting an invitation, right? And agreeing to come on and talk to me about your story, right? Hint, hint, about your story. You know, I've given so many of my story, right? No more laughs, no more jokes with the pigtails and with all those things, right? But thank you so much for saying yes and being here tonight. And I'm looking forward to a great night as well. Just to have some good conversation and pick your brain a little bit about what you're doing in your community and how you are making a mark, how you are making changes, how you are thinking big, how you're bringing about inspiration to your community, right? And having you guys talk about that and maybe give me some inspiration as well, right? So thank you for being here with me, of course. You guys know I always do affirmation, right? I always start off with affirmation. And I'm going to do that as well tonight. And then maybe you guys can chime in on them before we get into some questions, okay? You guys know I love affirmations. It's very positive,
Yeah,
right?
I like it.
Yes.
Let's go for it.
So we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna ask you pick a number. One of you pick a number, and then we will do the number that you choose.
2.
2. 2. Corey said 2. So we're gonna do 2 tonight. You're gonna grab 2 and see what they are tonight. And the first one, Corey, is I am healthy. I am healthy. Okay? I am healthy. And the second one is I am remarkable. I am healthy and I am remarkable. Those are the 2 affirmations for tonight. And we talk about it all the time, but I say it, I feel like the more I repeat it is the more it makes sense to me. Like, you have to use positive words. You have to put them somewhere in your life, your daily life, when you wake up, when you're going about your day. Maybe you have some challenges or some struggles. Just saying that you're remarkable. Or you may, have to be in and out. So you feel like you may get sick. You just say you're healthy. Claim that over your life, right? Right? Look, we don't claim it
Absolutely.
over your life. And I think that's the meat of that is the meat of the affirmation, the positive words, is using them so that they can build up yourself, right? No matter what you're going through. What do you think about that, Laquita? Because I know you love affirmations.
Yeah, like you're saying, it works, right? When you speak, when you speak into yourself, like you actually hear yourself. When you talk out loud, you hear what you're saying, and then it's like, okay, that's me telling me. And then of course you believe yourself. So whatever you tell you, you're going to believe, you're going to act on it.
Right.
It's powerful. So
Right.
yeah, especially when it's grounded in something positive, when it's grounded in progress. Oh yeah, affirmations are a good thing. Let's give me the 2 affirmations tonight. I am remarkable.
Remarkable and healthy.
I am healthy. So, oh wow, this is perfect for us. Yeah. I am remarkable. I am healthy. I'm remarkable. I am healthy. Like just hearing myself say that. Say it, Corey. Your turn.
I am remarkable, no doubt, and I
Yes.
am healthy.
Yes,
Are we supposed to add
definitely.
stuff to these affirmations? Are we allowed to add
You can
things or
add to it. Yes, you can add to it. You can always add to it, because it's not just have to. It doesn't have to be one word. It can be. You can. I am healthy, like he just said, right? I am remarkable, no doubt. You can add whatever you want, because it's a way of building yourself up. It's not to say you're better than or anything like that. It's the way to motivate you. A lot of
mm,
times when I come out here, if I don't have like a positive mindset, my channel is just inspire, right? But sometimes I need it from myself, right? And people on the outside won't see that. They think, oh, Samantha's no, 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 no. So I have to use it and add to it, right? I am creative. I
mm,
can create and to do these things. And you guys think it's easy. It's not easy, but it's not hard, but it's challenging at times, right? To get the right look, to put the right thing up. So
yeah.
definitely. Oh, we have Over the Top in the house. And she said, hey guys, this is going to be over the top. Good to have you in the house. Good to have you in
Y'all
the
make me
house.
laugh.
Good to see. And I always drop confetti, so let's do that now. If you're
My
new
favorite
here,
part.
let me give you guys some confetti. Let me give you some more confetti, because that is something that I do all the time. I celebrate over here. So good to see you in the house tonight. And she says, yes, affirmation. Hold on, Ecam. Yes, affirmations are great. I just forget to say them. Listen, it could be one word. It doesn't have to be a lot of words. I am beautiful. I am amazing, right? I am inspiring. I am whole, right? You can say I am remarkable or I am loved. Just
Mm,
when you wake up in the morning, the first thing, I am loved. Why? Because God allowed me to be awake today, right? So it doesn't
mm.
have to be no long winded. Just say a positive word to yourself when you get up, before you go to bed, when you're driving on the road. Like I drive in my car sometimes and I talk to myself. Do you do that, Laquita? Do you do
It's
it?
okay if you it's okay if you talk to yourself, just don't answer
Don't
yourself.
answer.
That's what they say.
That's when you end up in one of
That's
those.
when you're crazy, right? That's when people call you crazy, right? When you answering yourself.
Yeah, that's when
Right.
you end up in that "I
When
love
it's
myself" jacket.
that's it. That yeah. Yeah. That's not a good place to be.
Tasha, oh, she grows is in the house.
Hey.
I'm sure that's Kurt Marie friend. Good evening, at Samantha Just Inspire, blind guy, and they're like, good evening, good to have you in the house. Thanks for stopping by. She's saying hello to Over the Top. Okay, and she's saying hello as well.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks for
Good to
coming
see you guys
in.
in the house. And of course, Rodrigo is here, and he says, saying hi real quick, going to bed early today.
Oh,
Thank you for stopping by, Rodrigo. Good to see you here. All right, so let's jump into some of these questions, because I really want to get to know. I know you guys do so many inspiring shows, right? And the first question that I want to ask you tonight is I know you guys like to inspire a lot of people, but who inspires you guys the most? Who inspires you the most? And I'm gonna start with you, Laquita. Who inspires you the most?
All right. Who inspires me the most? Thank you for that question because this is tricky. I get so many inspiration from a lot of places. So I cannot say that it's one place. One of my big things is health, not because I'm a nurse and have been for a really long time, but just because um, I really love food science, right? So
Right.
oh my goodness, I'll just say it, I'm greedy. I love to eat. And so so I have been like watching registered dietitians and food doctors, like as far peace scientists, I should say, that are like really into food. So I'm inspired by so many doctors. Dr. Milton Mills is
Okay.
currently one of my favorite people. Like the way he conveys information, he's amazing. He is a doctor. He's currently seeing patients. He's changing lives. He's so inspirational. I've seen him talk on a range of topics, and he's good. I'll just say that Dr. Milton Mills is currently one of my most inspiring people because I love to eat. You know, he really satisfies that aspect of it.
Okay.
He uses food for so many different things, medicine as well. But I just love the way he uses food. He's like, you can eat your way to health. So if I hear eat and health in the same sentence and it's coming from a doctor, I'm a fan. So yes, that's one of my favorite, um, one of the people that's inspiring me currently, among quite a few other doctors, but that's one.
Nice. All right, Corey, your turn.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for me as far as who inspires me. I get inspired, especially when it comes to the business side of things, but and health, but other content creators and what they're doing. Because we got a lot of great content creators that we met out in what they call these YouTube streets. Over the top WME being one of them. She's a great businessman. I call her over the top, wicked, mean, and evil.
That is not what WME stands for.
stands for there's a wife, mother, and entrepreneur. Tasha Oshie Groves is with us today. Those are very inspirational people when it comes to the things that they're doing with their content to generate business. Zan the Man, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
Yes,
Zan the
I know Zan
Man,
the man. Yes.
he's the most alive person I know that has not had a cup of coffee. And he's like, let's go. And he just gets you all charged up. So other content creators are very inspiring from the business side. But personally, my biggest inspiration, my children, because they're they're my biggest cheerleaders. They were like, they really push and say, my dad can do anything. And I'm like, well, thank you, even though I can't. But it's nice that you believe
Mm,
that because it inspires me to give them as positive image of myself as I can. So that's where I find my inspiration, business wise and personal and family wise.
mm,
That is awesome. One thing I do like about your guys' platform is that you showcase so many different type of the diversity is so strong. You have fitness, there's health, there's finance, there's so many different things, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that soon. But one thing I wanted to know, not in details, but what are you guys' story? How did you guys get here? What is your, when I talk about my story, I always talk about, coming from Jamaica and going through what I went through. But what is your story? How does you inspiring others fit into the journey that you walked to get here?
mm.
Let's start.
I don't know. Do you want to start? What do you want to
Yeah.
do?
I mean,
I talk a lot, so I can always start, but go ahead, Corey.
personally, for us, our journey started, of course. People want to know whenever we do our presentations, we've done presentations both in person and virtually. And one of the biggest questions we get is about the blindness. And that was the impetus for us starting Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life, because they wanted to know
Mm,
what it was like for me to be blind, what it was like for her to be the wife of somebody that's blind, and
yeah.
then how we do
Mm,
our life together. So that was part of the presentations. Of course, we were doing performative storytelling and doing producing original stage plays. So performances have always been part of what we do, but always after any production was over, the questions would come about what's it like to be blind, and what's it like to be married to a
Yes.
blind guy? How did y'all do this together, and how do you do that together? So when things changed and the environment shifted, and we all had to pivot, as they like to say, we went into the virtual world and we took those questions. What is it like to be a blind guy, his wife, their
Mm-hmm.
life, and that's how we arrived at the doing our weekly broadcast that we do every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is when we get together and we share the people and the things that we've learned along the way, because education is a big aspect of what we do. Because what you see on our broadcast, what you see if you come to one of our in-person live shows, you don't just see two people who woke up with talent and we just threw it on the stage, even though
Right.
we could do that. But it's a lot of education that went to it in the background,
Mm,
research and development that led to where we are today.
absolutely.
That is definitely awesome. When did you guys realize that this was your passion? This was your
So,
passion. This is what you wanted to do.
yeah, I'll start there because, like Corey said, we started, as a couple. Like we actually were dating. Stop looking sad. We actually were dating, and what happened was Corey lost his sight along the way, and he went to college and was like, "Hey, I want to do this thing." So we started the business together, and we were like, "Okay, where do we go from here?" So we were getting our inspiration from different places. Like, okay, we know that we're storytellers. We have stories to tell, but what kind of stories are we going to tell? Personal stories, folklore. Are we going to tell inspirational stories? How are we going to do this? So that's where we said, hey, let's start with our culture. We know we're African Americans. We come from Africa, even though we were born in America. Let's start there. Let's start with historical storytelling. And so it's really been a fun journey along the way to say, okay, how do we get this done? Where do we go from here? And working with different education, like Corey said, working in different arenas. Corey graduated with his communications degree. He had a lot of theater training along the way. We were already dating, so whatever Corey was doing, I was doing. So, lots of theater training, lots of education in the realm of,
Of interpersonal communication, human
yeah.
communication, and how just learning about how things like the context of a communication event affects the audience perception of what's being said, how the timing, how the nonverbal cues, how all those things play into what is perceived by the audience. And also, as in addition to the words that are being said or the
Mm.
images that are being shown, how all those things come together to create an effective message.
Okay, so let me just cut to the chase. Okay, yes, it did become a passion, like Over the Top said, when the money started rolling in.
Yeah,
I
that's
noticed
Because,
you
it.
said that you guys are the yellow book pages of YouTube, and that is like so true. So true. So true. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so, and so
And
that's
that, and that,
where,
that, that is true. I mean, and once you realize, hey, I can also uh, make a living doing this. This is like that was like the icing on the cake, because we could take all those educational theories that we learned and we're
mm,
applying and take them out of research papers, take them out of research journals, and put them on the stage. And that's how we came up with our name, Edutainment, Atumpan
yeah.
Edutainment, because we educate and we entertain, and that's the parent company of Blind Guy's Wife. Blind Guy's Wife is the media arm of that company. So we just took all that, took that, and then we put it into a package where we could have fun educating people. Like she said, we started off with doing historical presentations, then we
Mm.
branched off to science, and
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we were just trying to figure out our way. We were having so much fun doing it. So it's sort of like the passion was happening as we were growing and as we were building. You're always excited about new things. And so, yeah, the definitely it helped to monetize it. When you realize that your work is valuable, not just to you, it's not just your personal passion, but other people value this as well. That does make a difference.
that's how we started focusing on our channel about we say the health, the business, and the wealth. The business and the wealth side came from our experience of turning our passion into a profit. And Thorhaven was on our one of our guests this week, and he said it best: profit is not a dirty word. It's okay to get paid for the things that you're passionate about. So that's why you'll see, if you come to our channel, we talk about wealth and business. A lot of times you see titles like "Turn Your Passion into Profit," because that's a great way to ensure business success. If you're doing something that you love, you're getting paid while you're doing it, then that makes it all the more sweeter.
Yes.
That is definitely true, and I like that because a lot of people come on YouTube and they're doing it because they just want the money. But the we talked about that on Tuesday. If you're passionate about something, then you will be prosperous in it, right? And if that's your true passion, you're not going to get burned out. You're not going to feel like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore. And that's where you're going to always get that success because it's your passion, right? And you can turn your
Right.
passion into profits and be able to live off of that. Um, what I love about your platform on YouTube is that I told you the diversity. You guys have so much diversity. There's health, right? And we're going to talk about a little bit about all of them because I know you guys are also food plant based as well. And then you do wellness and there's education and finances. How how did you guys come up with the idea to showcase different stories like this? What was the Where'd you guys get that idea of doing something? Because this is, to me, this is a great way. It's not just one content you come to, like Over the Top said, you come to Blind Guy, his wife, they're like, call you guys Corey Marie. So Blind Guy, his wife, there's too much for me. So Corey Marie's channel, and you get everything. You get
Mm.
everything. You
So,
Everything is there. How did you guys come up with that?
so I'll say this. Like Corey was saying, we started out, okay, we're in show business. We are storytellers. We have a lot of experience already being on the stage, creating.
Stage play.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. So, yes, and doing stage plays, doing presentations, being in front of lots of audiences. So we understand how to present to people. Like we understand, okay, you have to have a beginning, you have to have a middle, you have to have an end.
And transitions in between.
Transitions are so important, right? And so we understand that just from presenting so much, whether it's a stage play, whether it's a storytelling,
staff development at some corporation or government installation.
Yeah, that's true, because some of our earliest presentations were for universities. And so, just like Corey said, understanding transitions. And so then, of course, we also have our, professional training with our educational training, theatrical training. So we said, okay, we've done this enough. Let's just bring it to this platform and let's find a model. Let's follow that model. And so we consumed lots of YouTube because we said, if we're going to be on this platform, it's the same way, like if you were going to write a movie.
Let's just tell the truth. She consumed a lot of information. Then she came out and was like, and I was like, yes, okay, Quita. That's how it went.
I mean, so what happened was,
So you already sound like you're about to tell a lie.
Tell a lie. What happened was,
right.
Right. So, anyways, yeah. So it's sort of like if you're going to write a movie, you wouldn't just write one. You look at movies, right? You see how movies are produced, you see how movies are made. That's what we did. And so for YouTube, we did the exact same thing. We said, okay, what does this platform require? It involves a level of engagement. Right. So you got to have some sort of pizzazz. Like for you, you have this beautiful scene set up so that you said, hey, you guys are the guests. Let's highlight you. Let's put you on the main stage. I'll be over here on the side stage, but people know I'm the interviewer, I'm the host. Certain things we had to learn. Like when we started out, we were super crunchy, right? We weren't polished.
I know about crunchy. I know about crunchy.
Right. Not for this space. Like in our other spaces, we were comfortable. We had had enough practice, and experience is the mother of learning. So we said, okay, let's just get more experience in this space. Let's figure out what it requires in this space. And that's what we did. We just kept leveling up. But it really was our background, our foundation that, we brought to this space.
If I can add to that, I think when Laquita says we were crunchy when we first started, I think the biggest transition for us was we were used to having that immediate audience reaction, and not just from the standpoint of words, but from Laquita Marie being able to see their smiles, their surprise
Right.
expressions,
Or they're
their
falling
or their fall.
asleep
Yeah,
because
and
they've been out all day walking on a tour. Now they come in, they finally get to sit down,
And
and
they're
it's just
everything just
automatic.
falls right.
yeah.
Right.
And so having that immediate audience feedback, and then especially for me being blind, the auditory cues of hearing, if I say something that's funny, okay, so of course on YouTube when we're presenting a live stream, I don't hear anybody laughing, but Lakuta Maria's like, oh, they got a laughing face emoji. Somebody said,
I can read the chat.
right, or it's my
Right.
computer. When my computer reads it to me, somebody typed in Raffle Mouth or
Rolling
rolling
on
on
the
the floor
floor.
laughing, my whatever.
Right.
And so those types of things it was a transition for me because I wasn't accustomed to not having that audience feedback auditorily, but Laquita was accustomed to reading the audience visually, and so it
Mm-hmm.
translated well for her
Well,
because she could just
right.
read the chat and see the emojis and keep it rolling. And then once I got in tune with that, it was like we were back into the saddle again. We stopped being crunchy.
Yeah, and I will finish with this
We got
too.
creamy.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, smooth like butter.
Peanut butter.
Anyway, so here's the thing I'll finish with on that. We said we were looking at how do we want to do this. We started with record.
Lost you, Laquita. Hold on, I lost your volume.
I got it. I don't know what I pressed, but
Okay.
I somehow hit the mute. So my apologies. So yeah, when we first started, we said, okay, we know that we're doing recorded videos, it's labor intensive, and it doesn't really show us. What we wanted to come to YouTube or this particular platform to show, or the broadcasting space, I'll say that because we aren't just limited to YouTube, right? So we said, let's come here and really answer that question. People want to know how do you do this as a person that can't see? Um, how do you do this as a person that can't see with children and a wife? And how are you guys working? What does this
Right.
mean? So that's where we said, okay, let's do a live stream, 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And what we'll do is instead of just us talking, let's bring guests on. Let's bring their stories. We're storytellers naturally, so we can always tell a story. So when NASA said, hey, we have a teachers conference and NASA is hosting it, and we need some stellar things like literally constellations
Yeah.
explained,
Mm-hmm.
they came to us and they contracted us, and we were able to.
Teach the science teachers how to teach science by telling the story behind the science. And the
Wow.
Yeah.
example that we used was the Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, with the Series A and Series B stars, and some of the stories that went along with those stars. And then bridging that over to Nat Turner's Rebellion being inspired by the solar eclipse, of the solar eclipse. So we used
And
it.
specific constellations were
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, scientific facts were
Mm-hmm.
presented from us, and so we're like, okay, we can do that. We can curate a story, no problem, but let's bring in other people so we can help curate their stories. Let's highlight them so that we can tell their stories in the best light, showcase what they want to express. So that's it. That's the longest answer to how we
Listen,
decided.
that wasn't a long answer. That is very impressive. I'm so impressed by how you guys tell stories. You guys are
Hmm.
storytellers by heart. Like literally, you guys don't just come and tell your own story. You said you have others come on and tell their stories, and that is so impressive. And I love the way how you highlight others as well. And I noticed that Tasha's in here and she said, "Yeah, that is so awesome," and it really
Uh,
is because you're not just on the platform for Loquita Marie, you're on the platform to showcase everyone else. I see people from Africa all over the place that come with their story, and you are able to showcase that. You're able to showcase and highlight them and for them to tell their stories. And that to me, that is so amazing. That is inspiring. That you guys are able to do that from a background of you're already there, but you're doing a different element, and to take that and now put it into YouTube,
Mm.
that is amazing. That is something to definitely say kudos, put some applause on, if I can find some.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know
You
how
know,
long I
I
wanted
will
to do
say,
that, Laquita? It's been so long. I wanted to do that so bad. So that is
right.
definitely awesome.
You
Um,
know, I wanted to just speak really briefly to what you were saying about having the guests from different continents,
yes.
right? Because one of our goals was specifically to have different people from one of our goals is to have someone from all 54 countries in Africa. So like we're working on that goal, like that's part of it. You talk about this on your show a lot, with affirmations and saying things, asking for what you want. And so that's one of the things. It's in our goals, it's in our hashtag 25 for 25 goals, to have someone from all 54 countries. Today, I think, was the first Kenyan guest, or have we had someone from Kenya before?
No, this is the first Kenyan guest. We've had Kenya, we've had
Namibia,
Namibia, we've had Nigeria, Ghana,
Ghana.
Rwanda, South
Hmm.
Africa,
Yeah,
and there's another one in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
right. I know. So, but it's one of those things where, look, so when you do your affirmations, I'm like, yep, girl, do 3 affirmations, do 5, do 2, do whatever,
Do it
because
all. Listen, how it's and Corey just spit them out for me, right? That is some, like, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, how do you guys connect? How do you get to connect with the people that, how do you connect with them? Like, I know you guys are yellow pages and everything, so everybody probably look you guys up just to find you guys channel. But how do you guys get that connection to venture out to now, and I know it's something that you have on your goal, and Quita, you're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. You guys gonna have the 54. Keep speaking it every day, right?
right.
Speak it every day, and you will get there. But how did you
Yep.
guys, what was your reasoning behind that, to want to be able to have someone from every continent to be a guest on your show? Because that is some things to ask for. I just want some interviews, but I have many
I know.
change my goals.
Our personal philosophy is just having traveled to do presentations of all over the what we call the Mid Atlantic region here in America, but traveling and then meeting people from different parts of the world. We just found the world is full of great people, fabulous
Yes.
people, interesting people, and every one of them has a story. And so
Mm.
we want to help tell that story. And so we were able to connect with people in a variety of different ways. There were people that were in our personal and professional network, our personal professional networks, that we said, hey, you need to come on our show because you do X, Y, and Z. We've had yoga instructors, we've had dance choreographers, that people that are in our circle. We've had scientists and mathematicians that were followers of ours before, because a lot of times people look at us like, oh, you guys are, the people on stage, we're looking up to you. And then we find out, okay, for example, Dr. Linda Bailey Hayton at Elizabeth
Yeah.
City State University, she was a student of one of the mathematicians that was highlighted in Hidden Figures.
Right. So
And
that's
so,
one of the things that's inspired
mhm,
us to say, oh, this is why we want to do this. This is how we figured out, which direction we want to take. Because when we first started, we were like you, we were like, I just want to get some interviews, right? And then the people started to inspire us to say, oh, we can be more intentional. We don't just have to take whoever's like nearby or whoever we can contact that's accessible. We
mhm.
can also expand it.
And then naming your YouTube channel, that is another way to that really grabs me personally my attention. And a great example is in the chat right now. I think she's still there. Tasha Oshi Grows. That name just stuck with me because, of course, I started thinking
What is she growing?
Farmer Tasha had her garden. Oshi
She
Grows. It
grows.
just stuck in my mind. And then, ironically, we were interviewing a comedian that's in our personal professional network, And her husband walks in the room and says, "Hey, that's Lance Thompson. We grew up together."
Yeah. So then you find out about these different connections.
Right.
And it just makes you, oh, Tasha's smiling. She's putting an emoji in there, Corey.
I'm gonna send you some notebook paper, Tasha.
The love.
That's an inside joke.
But yeah, so that's that's kind of how we started to become even more specific, more intentional, and just saying, hey, we can have an even better time. I guess that's the best way to put it.
And again, that goes back to a lot of our education, because part of being able to assess the people that might make great interviews and make great connections is knowing your audience. And again, since once you get to know your audience in these virtual spaces, the way to know your audience is to go to their channel. So you see somebody that has a interesting name, you go to their channel and see what they're about.
Check them
out, do your research, and you say, okay, yeah, Tasha, oh, she grows, that's great. Over the top WME, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, you say, oh, okay, she's great, but then you go to the other channels, like, no, that's not, because we've been contacted, and especially once we get to the point where people consider us as over the top WME says, the YouTube yellow pages, then you get some people that'll contact you because they want to be on your show. You go check them out, you vet them, see what they're like, and then we found people that just don't align with our mission, and we just say thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
So connecting with people it comes on a lot of different levels, but we tell people start, within your own personal professional networks when you're looking to connect with people, because everybody has a great story.
That is so true. I totally agree with that. Everybody has something to say, and I think a lot of times we dumb ourselves down to think that well, she's doing that, so I'm not there yet. But like you said, start somewhere. I'm just at interviews now, but that the goal is to get somewhere else, right? So I'm looking at you because I'm looking up to you guys and seeing your platform and how it grew, and knowing that I'm able to do something to inspire others as well. I'm able to add some flavor or to create some type of goal, because I love the idea that you guys are thinking that big, right? And the segment is Think Big Inspiration, and this is, you guys are thinking it's not big, enormous, gigantic, right? Maybe I need to change the name for you guys, right? It's not just Think Big. You guys are like stepping outside of not even just your community here in the States, across the nation. So I am definitely like, that is something that is so inspiring to me, to see that the YouTube is not a game. I think it's so much more than that. It's so much more motivating and confidence building. It connects so many people on different levels. There's so many things. I saw one of the show you guys did the other day with the lady that made, what kind of drink she made? And I kept going back to try to find the drink. It's the orange or yellow pineapple. I'm gonna find it while I'm sitting here.
Hold on a second. It was somebody on the show that was a guest?
It was your guest. And they did is it gonna show up on here now? What's going on in my studio?
Okay, so hold on.
Twisted Fruit Baby.
Let's think. Twisted Fruit Baby. Whitney O'Neill. Wow, her company is Wow, where she makes smoothies. She adds CBDs.
And I looked at that and I was like, that is so awesome. You guys have everything that, if anybody just popping through your channel and looking for something, you guys have it. And that to me is something that is very, very inspiring. I know you guys do this thing on your show all the time, and I've always wanted to ask the pony. I want Corey to do it, right? I really want you to do it, because every time you do it, I'm like, yes, go Corey. And I want you to, because I never win. I always try to win.
You know what?
You want me to do what?
People talk about that first place pony.
First place pony. I never
win. People talk about like, I never win. What's the point of putting my name in there, right? I don't even know what the science is behind the first place pony. Like, I don't know how to get people to win. It's all completely randomized. Yes. So people always tease us about it being rigged, but it's not.
I don't think it's rigged. I just think I don't have that much luck with ponies.
I know, right? Like, so here's the thing. That's one of those things where when we're given something, we just toss it in the air, toss it around, play with it, turn it upside down, check it out. So the giveaway tool, since we use the streaming platform that we use, StreamYard, they have this giveaway tool. So we were like, okay, let's do it.
Right.
Now, no shade to StreamYard. I'm just saying we do a better job with the giveaway tool because we had sound effects. Our Pod Track 4 went down. You already know, Samantha, how tech will take
Yes.
you on a path, right?
Of no
So,
return, of no return, of no return.
right. And so you're just trying to figure it out. So here we are.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, Gaming with CJ is here.
Hey,
CJ's
Gaming
here.
CJ.
Yes, saying good evening.
Gaming
Always
with
got Ninjas
CJ.
here.
No brainer languages as well.
Hey, no brainer languages.
Over the
Yes.
Wait a
top, say
minute.
these are some great tips. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And one thing I will
Oh,
say,
hey.
I'm
Hold on.
sorry,
We also have
Shanice.
bracket
Snails
reviews.
here too.
Hey.
Good to see you. Said hi everyone. Just a quick greetings from my dreams, Samantha.
Yeah, because
Good to have
for
you in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing great. I hope you're
bracket
doing great.
reviews, what country is he in? Because he's like 4 or 5 hours ahead of us.
Yes, he is. I
I
don't
think
know
it's
where.
5 hours right now if he's in West Africa. Like for him, it's
Talk to
like
me. Where
2
are
in the
you at?
morning.
And that is something too. That is, and that's what I love about YouTube. Like I've met people from all over the world, right?
That's
And they're in my
yes.
chat, and it's sometimes morning there, and they're
Mm-hmm.
here saying hello and hi. That is like so. It's amazing. Um,
Right.
it's definitely amazing. How do you know if someone is not a great fit for your show? Good question. Good question.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just gonna
okay.
finish the thought that I had earlier talking
Yes.
about the giveaway tool. What I was saying is that we used to have our pod track, which gave us like the applause, sound effects, you could upload whatever, right? And so with the first place pony, people always we always want to give our audience the best value. Whatever they like, we try to really ham it up. Let's give it to them even better. So they were always like, oh, I was first to chat. You know how people on a video, they like to be the first one. So we said, okay, let's see how we can really have fun with this. So when we had our sound effects, we could do the giveaway. Corey would do like the horse race sound. He was
Yes.
the one who was like, okay, first place pony is bragging rights. Let's use that. Then we went into, okay, I'll read the names off really quick as they're scrolling. Let's make it exciting. Let's clap.
I
Let's
mean,
cheer.
and when you do that, it makes it sound like a real horse. If you ever listen to a horse race announcement, that's how it sounds. What Lakuta Marie is doing. And then so and so's in the first place, in the first place, in the first place. Sounds like an auction is going on. And so
Yes.
she does very well with that. And so,
Right. So that's where I was saying, when we get something, we toss it in the air, we flip it upside down, we check it out, we look at how can we use this. So we know we have a giveaway tool, we know we want to give value. Let's see how we can improve the value on it. And then regardless of what we have, no limitations, right? Don't
Right.
make any excuses, just get it done. And
Right.
so that's where, okay, find out something about the horse races, how are they run? So that's where the education comes into. We can school ourselves. We can, with nowadays, with a few points and clicks, we can find out so much more. So Corey, you can go ahead with how do you know if someone is not a great fit for your
Not a
show?
great fit for the show.
really, it takes time to just again go visit their. If they're a content creator, go to the way I do it is I start out by going to their about section on their channel page and then go to the description of what the channel is about. Usually, if they don't have a description or have a good description, I kind of stop there, but then I say, okay, I'm gonna give them a chance with one video.
Okay.
And
Dad, you only give them one?
9 times out of 10, when their description is kind of wonky, and then I go to that one video, I am correct because
Oh,
there was one person. I'm not gonna say the channel name. I don't even remember it.
darn, I want to know.
They contacted
Whisper
us.
it to me, Corey.
I can't remember it. They contacted us and says, "Hey, I want to collaborate. I want to be on your show." And I said, "Okay." So I went to their channel, and then I started seeing some things that were okay.
Just didn't really align.
Didn't align with the health, business, and wealth,
Yeah.
because that's the angle they approached it. Oh, we can really do some great things with business and building wealth and health. When I went to their channel again, And I said, okay, I looked at the description. I said, the description is not, it's putting up red flags. I clicked on one video, and within 2 minutes, there was some things going on, and they did inhale,
Oh no.
and they were saying a whole lot of words that have four
Oh,
letters in
like
them.
love, but it wasn't love.
Yes,
It was,
and
yeah.
yes, a lot of things. In the first 2 minutes, it went. And so I said, I'm gonna give them about 2 more minutes of my time to see if it straightens out. It never did.
Oh no.
So I knew
Yeah.
that person wasn't a good fit. But then I
So
like
basically, research,
right
educate
research,
yourself,
Yes.
right,
check out the people. That's one thing that we do. Nowadays, if somebody's inviting you to something, there's always a starting point. Go to their platform. So whether it's a branding company saying, hey, we'd like you to do our brand, don't get excited because someone
Too
is
quick.
offering you a deal. Check it out.
Right.
We have the internet as well. You can go directly to a website. You can check out reviews on them. There's a lot of different ways.
and then you have some of those people that when you go check them out, their description's on point. You go click on that video, it's like wow,
Mm.
that's really great. And then you get into you start listening to their content, you start to understand what they're about. They got great titles going on.
And you
So
can see if it aligns,
hmm
even if it can somehow fit, not somehow, but it's like you guys could have a symbiotic relationship. It doesn't have to be your exact thing.
right, because and I keep using her as an example, but Tasha Oshi Grows, she has a gardening channel. I don't garden nothing, but
And we kill house plants by accident.
she's also into business, but and running her YouTube channel and running her as a way to funnel people to her business page. And so that lines right up. Even though she's a gardener, we're not. She's still talking about business. She's still conducting business and doing a great professional job.
Mm.
Same thing with Over the Top WME. She's out there. She's got her channel going, and she's also a very professional person. Now we had the added benefit of getting to know Over the Top WME through in person, not in virtually in person meetings.
We were in
Be-
a work group together, yeah.
yeah, before we actually got into to the virtual spaces of her being a content creator, so we had that double advantage on that one as well. So
Hmm.
it just all boils down to consistency, collaboration, and creativity. Be consistent, do your research, and make sure that you know the person that you're about to bring on, see if they align with your mission. Collaboration, make sure that they, once you bring them on, figure out how exactly they do fit, even if they're not in your vein of content, like we said with Tasha Oshi Grows in the gardening. And then creativity, be creative, make it fit, because there is a fit somewhere. So
Yep.
that's what we
Definitely.
create. Consistency, collaboration, and creativity is what we like to share.
Mm.
I like that too. Here we have they're saying hi. CJ saying hello, and Greg's in the house. Greg Vlog Show. Good to see you here.
Hello.
Good to see you here. Over the top of saying pay to play, pay to play.
That's
Um,
it.
let's see. The back and forth between Lakrita and Corey is something unique. I can't even read my own scripts in one take. The
Well,
way you guys do it though, it's really unique how you guys bounce off of each other so well when you guys are doing your shows. So definitely yes, totally agree with you, Rodrigo. Totally agree with you. And they're saying hi to everyone. Very savvy entrepreneur. He says Tasha Oshiguro is a very savvy entrepreneur.
yes,
You say
Definitely.
absolutely.
that?
Over the top is saying
Okay.
Tasha Oshi Grows is a very savvy entrepreneur.
Um,
I do want to ask the chat something.
yes.
So that because everybody says, oh, you guys have such great feedback, or with each other, such great ambiance, and just the way you work together is great. So I have to ask the chat a question if they would like to hear a story, and we can kind of give our methodology as we tell a story, but only if they want to hear one, because we don't want to, bore anybody or
My story's not boring.
well, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we don't tell boring stories. No. But yes.
YouTube dramas. She's over the top. Say, I love how you guys stay out of the YouTube dramas. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
I'll
I
be
would
doing
love to hear a story, and I'm sure my
I would
audience
say
would. They would not
attitude.
mind hearing a story either. That's the the title is these are the stories of our lives. So I would love to hear a story.
Okay.
I would love to hear a
So
story.
if we get confirmation from like three different people, we'll absolutely, you're the host though, so you kind of running this thing, you know. So definitely, yes, we will
Drop some yes in the
follow
chat, guys. Drop some yes in the chat.
if you'd like to hear a story. Now, here's the thing, our stories are typically interactive. And so it'll be the same thing here. And we'll kind of give you our methodology. So it's not going to be necessarily call and response, but it'll be interactive from the standpoint of we're going to kind of walk you through, we'll set it up. If you say yes to a story, we'll set it up and then we'll see what we can do. So
We
you
got
can
one
go through the
yes.
chat. Oh, okay. So
We got one
over
yes
the
so
top
far
said
from
yes.
over the top. Rodrigo say my connection failed me here, but I was going to say Roberto Blake talked about spending up to 1 hour checking a contact out to make sure they are legit. Yeah,
Mm,
that is a lot of time to
yeah, spending an hour to check out those folks to make sure
folks to make
they're
sure
legit.
they
That's
don't
it,
come on.
dude.
I heard a story about someone having a live stream, and just until somebody else say yes, we need two more yes, guys. Drop a yes in the chat. Someone had a live stream, and some random person come in the chat and they wanted to come on the show, and they came on, and immediately when they came on the came on as a guest, they put up porn, and immediately the host caught it and took it down and was saying, okay, when the stream is over, I'll go and remove that part, cut it out. But
Mm-hmm.
immediately when they were done, the person reported them, the person that did it reported them, and they lost their channel. So you have to
Yeah,
always, like, everybody's not supposed to show their camera faces on your show. You never know what they're gonna do. So it's good to
exactly.
be consistent and research. Do your research. Do your research.
That's one of the things. You're right. So doing your research and oh, okay. No Brainer Languages says stories are
Stories
awesome.
are awesome. One more. Let's see.
One more yes, and we'll tell
Do
a
I count?
story.
Haley, after Haley's probably sleeping.
it.
So that's the thing. That's another way. That's another reason why we said let's do interviews where we know who's coming on
Right.
rather than doing a call-in show. Call-in shows are very popular for the people that do them. However, for what the example you gave, they can be detrimental.
Yep.
You
Very.
because you just it's a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to have somebody that's long-winded that doesn't respect everyone else's time. We got another yes, Corey. Tasha Oshiguro says
Yes.
yes. Thank you, guys. So we're going to tell a story.
Which
We'll set
one?
it up. Okay. We can tell a quick story, whichever one that you want to tell. One of our favorites that we can tell in our sleep. We tell some of the same stories depending on the setting, right? So we have a few favorites. We're not doing oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll want to be able to hold that really long. Um, oh, Ijakba is really expressive. Any
Mm-hmm.
of the Anansi stories are also pretty good. The one that we have a show coming up, a stage play, February 26th,
I can do that one.
and we're putting on a particular story. So we won't do that one because you got to come to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Anansi and the Guinea Fowl is like one of our original tales.
I like to do the Ijapa one.
Ijakpa, okay.
Ijapa.
Right.
So, which one? The how he lost his hair, right? How
Mm-hmm.
turtles became bald headed.
Yes.
Okay, so this story in the Yoruba culture, there is a popular character, a trickster character, much like Brer Rabbit here in America or Anansi in the West African tradition. The tricks this character, their trickster character in the Yoruba of Nigeria culture is Ijakpa.
Tasha was saying Anansi.
Ijakpa is the turtle, and in this story, we tell why turtles have a bald head.
Right. So in this particular story, Corey is doing most of the telling. Typically, I'm playing music for ambiance, and I'm also telling the story with my body language because we want to tell the story to everybody. So this is something to think about when you're live streaming, when you're presenting digitally or in person. You always want to think about what your face is saying to the audience or what your body is saying to the audience. So like tonight, I noticed that my hands are in the shot a lot. So instead of moving them so much, I'll clasp them, I'll put them down every now and then, because people really watch your moving parts. Whenever you are presenting the parts of your body that are moving, that's where their attention goes. So for me, you'll see a lot of expression. It's intentional.
You say that again, people what?
People watch the parts of your body that are moving.
And you get ladies wonder why us guys like to, never mind.
As I was saying. So,
but that is facts from research. That definitely is facts.
It is, yeah. And so it is facts, and it's also something that we've learned. Like it's just a part of what we've learned as presenters. I can't remember if it was in theatrical training, communications, both. Yeah, it comes up. So you'll see that, and another thing that you'll also see with this story is there's a lot of fun in this story, because we know that generally people like to be entertained more than they like to learn. So even if you're telling a story that's a serious story, it's always good to lead, with a story. So we started off tonight talking about education, how we start there. So you're going to learn tonight a lesson, but it's not going to feel like a lesson, right? And also, there are a lot of takeaways from this story. So
this story is all about what happens when people don't listen and they don't listen well. And this is what happens to Ejapa, because you see, there once was a time long ago when turtles looked a lot differently than they do today. They had their 4 legs, they had their shells on their back, they had their tail, but they also had a head full of hair. Especially Ejapa, who was the king of all the turtles, because Ejapa had the longest, waviest hair of them all. Now, Ejapa thought that the long, wavy hair made him better than everyone else around him. So Ejapa never took the time to
listen
to any other animal around him, not even to the roars of King Lion himself. All Ejapa wanted to do was look at his reflection in the pond and check out his
long, wavy hair.
Well, one day while Ejapa was looking at his
long, wavy hair,
he missed the royal announcement from King Lion, telling everyone to come to his home to celebrate the end of the harvest. Each animal was to bring food, song, and dance to the party, and he would give a special gift to the animal that decorated their drums with the best flowers, vines, and leaves to make them look and sound good, or as the Yoruba would say, Teradan Conte.
Adon Conte.
Teradan Conte.
Adon Conte.
Ejapa was not listening because he was looking at his
long, wavy hair.
But one animal was
elephant.
Elephant told everyone to come to his home and to bring ingredients to make a big pot of stew to take to the party. And while the stew cooked, they could practice their singing and dancing, and he would help them decorate their drums with Teradan Conte.
Adon Conte.
Teradan Conte.
Adon Conte.
Now, the monkeys went to Tasha Oshie Grove's gardens and brought back some sweet potatoes. They also brought back from her garden some okra. They brought back some cassava and some yams. And they made a big pot of stew. And while the stew cooked, the animals danced and sang and the elephant drummed. And soon the sound of the music and the smell of the food reached the nose and the ears of Ejapa the turtle, who stopped looking at his
long, wavy hair
to see what was going on. Well, it sounded like a party. So when you go to a party, you got to dress up, even if you're a turtle. So Ejapa reached down into his shell, pulled out his best hat, and whoop, put it on, and began to walk to the party. As he got close to the sound, he sang along in his own slow turtle way. Teradan Conte.
Adon Conte.
When Ejapa finally got close to the elephant's house, he thought to himself. He jumped to conclusions, something we should never do. He said, "Hey, this elephant's having a party, and did not invite me. You know that bald headed pachyderm has always been jealous of my
long, wavy hair.
So Ejapa decided to teach the elephant a lesson. When no one was looking, he went up to that soup pot and began to eat and eat until it was almost gone. But then he heard the elephant coming to stir the pot. Ejapa looked down and saw there was still soup in the pot. So to hide what he had done, he took off his hat, scooped up what was left of the stew, and bloop, put it on top of all that.
Long, wavy hair.
And then Ejapa tried to make a fast turtle getaway.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
Boom,
snap.
boom, boom, boom.
I'm
Boom, boom, boom,
busted.
boom, boom.
Ejapa, for once you were listening. You were invited to King Lion's party too. Come, bring me your drum so that I can help you decorate it with Tadarankante.
A don contain.
Tadarankante.
A don contain.
But Ejapa was not
Listening.
because the soup in his hat was very
Hot.
It started to drip down his
Neck.
into his
shell.
and down to turtle parts that we won't talk about. The hot stew caused Ejapa to jump and shake and shimmy, and the elephant thought he was doing a new dance and played along. Oh, snap! Ejapa's got a new jam. Tadarankante.
A don contain.
Go Ejapa, go Ejapa, go Ejapa, go Ejapa, go Ejapa, go Ejapa. Woo! With a yell, Ejapa jumped into the air, and when he did, his hat fell off. Out poured the soup he had been hiding, and guess what else came off of his head? His
long, wavy hair.
And that was the day that all the animals found out that Ejapa never had long, wavy hair at all. Ejapa was using shedded hyena fur to make a wildlife weave. And Ejapa was so embarrassed that he ducked into his shell and would not come out. And to this very day, all turtles hide in their shells, not because they're afraid of something, but because they're afraid for the world to see
their bald heads.
That all turtles now have, thanks to Ejapa, who did not
listen
to know that he was invited to the party too, to bring a drum to decorate with Tadarankante.
A don contain.
And so we always leave you with the lesson that's learned. We should always
listen
to everyone around you. Children need to
listen
to their parents, their teachers, and other trusted adults. Grown-ups need to
listen.
Wives need to
listen
to their husbands all the time. Husbands need to
listen
to the NFL Network and the ESPN all day, every day, and that's it. We all need to
listen
to everyone around us, especially Samantha, JustInspire, who brings more flames and more fire.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is you guys are awesome. You know that, right? Both of you guys are so awesome.
We work on it though. This is obtainable for anybody. So that's the fun part about what we do. It's not like we're just talented. It's not just like we can do this. Hey, we've studied, we've worked on it, and experience. Oh, we got comments, Corey. Go ahead, Samantha. You can read it, or I can read it.
Over the top says, "Wow, I feel like I am at the live show. This is great." Totally.
She is at the live show.
I got an emoji from Tasha. She's like, "Wow, like OMG." And Gary's laughing at me. I know he's laughing at me.
Gary Jones
laugh
Jr.
out loud.
Hey, Gary, good to see you.
Sasha Oshi Girl says she loved that story. That was awesome, and the way how you do the actions, Laquita, so nice, so lovely.
Yeah,
so
thank
lovely.
you.
And
those are
storytellers. You are gifted. Yes,
Ah,
so
Thank you.
gifted. That
I
is so
appreciate
awesome.
it.
That is a
You
nice
know?
way to do that. Is that something that you guys write? That's like
Yeah.
your story.
Hmm.
Well, we
So,
actually have we acquire stories different ways. This story was passed down to us from a great Yoruba woman named Iya Tutu, part of Orishirishi African folklore.
yeah, Orishi Rishi is amazing. They're still in business. We're
That's her
still
real name.
friends
That's
with
her real
them.
name. Rishi. That's her real name.
Orishi,
Orishirishi.
Orishi Rishi is a
Rishi.
Yoruba
It
word
means
that means
many or
variety.
many different things.
Mm,
Yes, because
that
she's Nigerian from the Yoruba culture of Nigeria. So Orishi Rishi or Orishi Rishi, you got to roll the
Yeah.
R's.
Rishi
That's
Rishi.
that's the name of the
Rishi.
company,
The Jamaican
Orishi
accent's not gonna
Rishi
let me
African
do it, but
Folklore.
Rishi.
Say that again.
Jamaican accent won't let it come out for me. Rishi.
You,
Can't get it. Can't get it.
I know us too. We just say Orishi Rishi, but
Rishi.
yes. So what happens is, like Corey says, if we hear a story, we adapt it. That's where we toss it in the air, we turn it upside down, play
And
with
make
it
it
a
your
little
own.
bit.
And she
Absolutely.
actually taught me the full song to go to that. "Terere Conte."
I
There's a
don't go
there's a
take.
lot more words, but she was like, "No, no, 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 you no, we don't know what you're saying. Just stick to the first part."
We were messing up the language. Yes, we were messing up the language with that song. So, but that's where these are some of the things that we teach. So, when we're presenting, when we're at a university, when we're at a conference, we're at a library, wherever we are, museums, art shows, whatever, stage plays. So, this particular story, we've produced it as a stage play with actors, and that's where Corey will then write the script. He will write the script so that we have different characters. They're
Huh.
acting out the parts. They have the lines.
Yeah, there's more dialogue that's added at times. There's dances that are put in there in between. So
Yes, yes. Props, of course, because it's a stage play, so you have to have props. You have to have a set, costumes, all of those things. And, so we tell in different ways. So depending on what's happening, we tell the story in different ways, but also there's always takeaways. So, for example, Samantha, the chat can definitely tell us any takeaways that they took, that they gained from listening to that. But you can tell us also anything that you gained from listening to that. One thing we will tell everybody is the obvious one. Don't wear a bad weave. So we know that's a takeaway, right? That's an
Yes.
obvious one.
It'll
don't
fall
use
off.
glue. Use a
It'll
sew in.
Don't use glue, use a sew in,
use a
right?
sew in. It'll fall off, or somebody will pull it off.
Right. But any other takeaways? Like, so we use these stories also as conversation starters, as teaching tools, learning tools. So we always ask about takeaways because people gain different things from stories. So if you'd like to share, hey, let us know, Samantha. You can
Listen, and
start it
don't
off.
always assume. Don't always assume, and make sure that you're listening, because he thought that he was not invited, and he was,
Right.
right? And a lot of
Exactly.
times when you're not invited to the party, or you think you're not invited to the party, and all your friends are talking about, it's like, well, I didn't get an invitation, and yet your invitation came in the mail. You just never picked it up, and you made a big deal about it, right? And your invitation was in your mailbox all this time. Don't always assume. Don't always assume. You're
Mm,
you're there. Over the top says, don't go where you're not invited. Don't go where you're not
exactly.
invited.
Because now that's a really good point because uh, even though he missed his invitation, that means he didn't get one, but he went anyways. So why are you crashing parties? Don't go where you're not invited. We have that happen where we realize, what? That's not a space for us. So and so was invited into that space. We were not. We're not going to force that relationship. It's okay. Let me sit back and do what I'm doing.
And
Good
listen.
takeaway.
Tasha says, listen. Always keep those ears open and
Yeah,
listen.
especially the husbands. Tasha Oshigros has a husband. Yes, honey.
Yes,
Tell him
they
to
need to listen.
listen.
The husbands need to listen. I agree with you.
What y'all here said?
See? You
I
hear
agree with
Cole?
you. The husbands need to listen. They
Huh?
need to open their ears and listen.
What was that?
He's not here. He's not hearing. I
Right.
want to touch a little bit. I know you guys have a nonprofit.
Hmm.
Let me read this last comment. I was developing a game based in Nigeria during the Portuguese invasion, making it with friends, but I've been away from my game projects during the pandemics. Oh, that's nice,
Mm.
Rodrigo.
No brainer languages is saying
All
that,
right, no
Corey.
brainer.
Yes.
Yeah, the Nigerians have some of the best things. We've used quite a few Nigerian apps or Nigerian made apps, I should say. And so, yeah, they are the ones that are up on tech. So you better get back with them, no brainer languages. Don't let anything stop you, you know?
Tasha Oshi Girl says, I can tell him, but he don't listen.
Girl, Corey does not listen either. So yeah, I understand, Tasha. That's fine.
But then you also, and I'll say this, and I'll get in trouble for it later, but it's also the way the message is presented too, because you got King Linus roaring a message. He didn't check to see was everybody listening.
That's true.
He didn't check to see if everybody was there to hear the. So
He's
as a
just thinking, I am lying, hear me
me roar,
roar.
so
Everybody's gonna
Everybody's
hear
supposed to
him.
open your ears and yeah.
right, so as
Yep.
content creators, we're responsible to make sure that we get a clear message out there to the
Mm,
people that so that the ones that they do listen. Now, you're gonna have those that just don't listen, but like I said, it also is like the message sender is just as important as the person that's receiving the message.
yes.
So yeah, so King Lion had a little responsibility in that too.
Yes, very good. Tell me a little bit about the nonprofit because I know you guys have one, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But tell me a little bit about your nonprofit and why you started it, or maybe not even why you started. I think you touched a little bit about that in the beginning. But what exactly do you guys do? I know it's like a stage play theater type thing, but
Yeah.
give me a little bit of
I
insight on that.
hmm
And how can you get, are you looking for supporters? How can we support you? How can my platform support you with your nonprofit?
Sure, I can give you a quick synopsis for that. So, first of all, this has been started years ago when Corey was in college. So, Atumpan Edutainment is the name of it. Atumpan means the talking drums. It's a word from Ghana, Atumpan. Two, like the number two, atum pan. It
Okay.
looks like pan, like a frying pan, but atum pan. And so with atum pan edutainment, we educate, we entertain. So atum pan edutainment, just the same way we just told that Nigerian story that was passed down to us. It had a lesson in it. You all learned the word for turtle. Ijakpa is a Yoruba word for turtle. And so right away in the beginning, we said, okay, Corey is in college. He cannot see. His eyes don't work. It's going to be a challenge for him to gain employment. So Corey said, let's start our own thing. Let's start a storytelling business. So we started, right? Just kind of saying, okay, let's learn some stories. Let's add dance lessons. Dance. We took dance. I took dance lessons. We took drum lessons because we knew we wanted to start with our culture. Like, okay, let's just start African American. Let's start there. So we started learning folklore, learning African drums, learning African dance so that we could accentuate our message. We also went into historical storytelling. So that's where let's just take stories, history rather, create a story or create a dialogue around it.
We branched out into life skills such as anti-bullying, not just for children but for adults as well.
We've done
And
quite a, yeah.
we started doing things with fractured fairy tales, where I would take some of the traditional Grimm fairy tales like the Three Pigs, and it became, when we tell it, Oink Yeah, the Three Pigs remix,
Little
or
Red Riding
Little
Hood.
Red Riding in the Hood, and then Goldilocks and Three Bears meet Good Friend the Bird and Bad Friend the Skunk. A whole
Mm.
twisted story. It's a similar story, but it's got a lot of different characters and a lot of
Right.
features in it that bring it up to date for audience of today's time.
Right. And so from 1998, when we started up to now, we started with just the two of us as storytellers. We've since added a dance theater where people can come in to act, learn acting, learn dancing, and actually have a stage. Because the main thing is, most of us are natural born actors. Theater is easy. The difficult part is
Especially for y'all
yes, he ain't lying, especially for us ladies. We're drama filled. It's easy for us, right? But having a stage and being able to perform on that stage is difficult. So, the same way where here you are, you have a stage, and you're like, okay, being able to perform is difficult because I have to learn what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it on that stage. Ecamm is not easy, it's not a plug and play, right? So, you learned what you had to do and you're constantly performing on this stage. When we got in here tonight, the way the scenes were set up, you said, "Oh, I need to fix this so that you guys, we can see you, you can see me."
I
So
can't see nobody.
Corey.
I know. So yeah, so the way our nonprofit works is we incorporated our business into a nonprofit so that we could receive grants. So rather than taxing the people that are coming in and want to learn, sure, they have a fee for their lessons and for participating, but how can we tap into the NEA, the National Endowment Association, or excuse me, National Endowment for the Arts Association, or how can we tap into our city's arts council? How can we tap into those kind of grants, get that type of support? And so at this point, Atumpan Edutainment, we didn't even shut down in the lockdown. People were like, hey, we still want this. So we have continued to do in-person performances as well as virtual performances with our dance theater of adults, teenagers, and children. And
Teens, tweens, jumping beans, and all in between.
yes. Oh my goodness. And so at this point, Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life, that's the media arm for Atumpan Edutainment. So Atumpan is our parent company. And, we broadcast on our show 3 times a week. Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. We broadcast 3 days a week. And we always market Atumpan
Right.
Edutainment as well, because it all flows together. And so the type of support that we need at this time, I would definitely say viewership always
Okay.
helps. Um, we're always advertising through our private mailing list for Atumpan Edutainment. So when people go to that website, atumpanedutainment.com, they can sign up for the mailing list. They can get updates. So that way they'll know, oh, okay, there's a show coming up, or they're going to be at this festival, or they can just go there and check out the calendar. Even on our Blind Guy His Wife .com website, that same calendar showcases where we're going to be, what shows are coming up, what's happening. So, in this way, people can just plug in, experience what we're doing. We always are looking for sponsors, of course. People always are asking, they want to do the ask when you have a nonprofit. That's one thing where we don't partake in all of those asks. They're annoying to us to get so many asks from so many different places. We know that it's a necessary part, but we try to give value. And what we find is that we've gotten a lot of private grants, a lot of public grants, and we have a lot of support internally as well. So different things come to us. So we're actually formulating a wish list right now so that we can say, oh, here's what we need. This will help with costumes. This will help with set pieces. Currently on our Blind Guy, His Wife broadcast, we are asking people to help us to buy coffees because that's going to help us to bring in a support system for our upcoming show.
Yeah, it's called Access Virginia. And what they do is they do audio descriptive services so that a parent that has a vision impaired child could bring that child to the show, and
Or
not an
adults.
adult
It's
that
mainly
comes.
adults that have
Adult,
the issues.
right?
Yeah.
An adult that comes in that's vision impaired. No matter what show we're doing and what production we're doing,
Mm.
they come. Access Virginia comes, and they provide them with a headset, a remote headset, and there's a person that has read the script, seen the rehearsals. They're describing to them in their ear what's happening on the visual things that are
Nice.
happening on the stage so that they don't miss a beat with the story, and that the people they came with don't have to be like Laquita Marie. Okay, the Black Panther just jumped out of the airplane, then he dove into the tree, he jumped out of the tree, he jumped down, he hit the man in the head with the car door.
Yeah, I don't have to describe
Right.
everything. The descriptive services is like a little thing in your ear,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what that company does. They provide that service. So we're currently rallying on our Blind Guy His Wife live show
For that. Okay.
for people to buy coffees because all proceeds go directly to Atumpan Edutainment.
Right.
Okay, that is awesome. That is awesome. I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking about like you guys have thought of so much for for your community and for everyone else as well. And I was thinking about it when you were talking a little bit earlier about Corey and when he lost his sight before he went to college. A lot of people give up at that point. A lot of
Yeah.
people get, depressed or, lost my sight, whatever, and they give up. But you guys took that and turned it into something beautiful, right? You took it and you made it something that today people are inspired by your story. They're inspired by the things that you do on this platform, not
Mm,
because you sulk. I always say God does things not for you, but for someone else. And today
mm,
you guys are able to inspire others, are able to uplift others by that story, and with the community, with your nonprofit, the things that you're doing, it's not by chance. It was divine by God to put you guys in that position. And I sit here and I'm listening. I'm like, look at these two amazing people. And you may
thank
think
you.
you lost something, Corey, but you gained so much more than what you lost. So much more has been gained in your life than that one, that just having that eyesight, because I can see the joy, I can see the love, I can see the communication, I can see how you guys are so, the way how you guys talk about it, it's so inviting to see that you guys are so excited about your channel and about your nonprofit, and the way you talk about it is amazing. So I want to say kudos to both of you, and
Thank
Lafayette,
you.
kudos for standing next to him, and kudos for doing what you're doing, because the way how you explain when something goes in the chat and you cannot see, but you always say it, you always repeat it, even if it's an emoji, you're saying so and so put an emoji up, and Corey go and he laughs, or if someone comes in the chat and you're like, well, there goes so and he says something, and it's, the connection is so amazing, that when I
Mm,
watch your show, I'm like, wow, this is something that inspires me to continue to keep doing. Because not all the time I feel like coming on here, but I see people like you guys come up on the show and you guys do your thing. It's amazing. So kudos. I am so glad that you guys took the time to be here with me tonight. I have learned so much. Here goes Tasha is throwing some claps. She's clapping. She's clapping. She's clapping. She's clapping. She's clapping. Thanks for being here as well, Tasha, and over the top. I normally call people by their names, but we'll do over the top and Tasha Oshi
yeah,
Rose
thank
I,
you.
tonight.
I can tell you what WME means: wicked, meaning evil, war machine, engineer, wild, maniacal, and enthusiastic.
It means wife, mother, entrepreneur because she's teaching you how to be a wife, a mother, and leave a legacy for your
That's
family so you can be a,
it.
yes, a rich, happy housewife like her.
That's it. I love that. I love that. I think I'm subscribed to her channel. I think
Mm,
I think I'm subscribed to her channel.
okay.
So one more thing I wanted to say: is there anything that I did not ask you guys or talked about that you wanted to talk about tonight? Is there anything that I left out, Corey?
No, you
Anything I
know what?
left out?
You've covered a lot of things here tonight, and on our channel we talk about health, business, and wealth. And one thing that we will say is that we are not vigilantes, we are not fruit hoodlums, but we do want to ask you, Samantha,
Yes.
how many fruits and vegetables have you had today?
You know what? Today's been a good day. It's been a good day. I had salad today. I had fruits today. I had some grapes. I love grapes. I'm a grape baby, okay? So I'll eat grapes morning, noon, and night. So I had grapes today. I had salad today. Listen, let me don't tell anybody. My mom's here with me now. So I must eat healthy. Okay. So we eat salad often. Okay. We eat salad, we eat fruits. So I did have some grapes today and I did have a salad today. That was my lunch. Yes.
Right.
Awesome.
I sure
You
did.
know,
Yes.
that's it. Okay, that's great because people always think when they see us coming, they're like, oh no, we ate some meat or we ate some eggs. We're like, no, that's not what we care about. We just want to make sure that you got in your fruits and
Yes.
vegetables, not just at dinner, not just at breakfast, but all day long. Every meal is so important for health reasons. Corey, we've helped to turn his health around. We're still working on it, but
First of all, I was fat, and so I was like 285 pounds. But with the lifestyle change, I've gone down to 216.
but see, the main thing was diabetes.
Yeah.
Corey's diabetes. Like we're like, okay, weight is one thing, but chronic illnesses are another. So that's improving. His diabetes is improving, and so we're like, oh, that was the
Yes.
purpose.
And even simple things like it's cold here where we are. And before, every joint that I had on my body would ache when I went out into the cold wind. That doesn't happen anymore because of the
Wow.
Really?
lifestyle change. I don't have that arthritic, you know, as soon as the wind bites, I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the Bengay? Where's the hot pad? I
Really?
don't have that anymore. I
That
can
is
stand
awesome.
outside. Yeah, I can stand outside in the cold. Now I'm not going out rolling snowballs tomorrow, but I could and not feel the pain that I would have I felt before.
Yeah.
That
Hopefully
is
we don't get it
awesome.
now. So,
That
but
is
yeah.
awesome.
So
Plants are good, and I always, you said something about there was this meat that you made out of, I don't remember what you called it, but the plant meat.
you know what, we call it garden meat. That's the word we settled on because we did a poll with the neighboring channel, a Black's Tropical Homestead. I do a
Yes,
live stream with them, talking about tasty topics, and they were like, "Call it garden meat," because I make our meat out of vegetables.
really.
And yeah, and
What?
when she tried it, we went to Savannah, Georgia. We took them samples, and they were like, "Is this roast beef? Stop the cap." And she does not like okra. And that particular one, I had used okra and onions in it because okra has that texture people don't like. It gives
It's
the meat a
slimy.
softer.
It's slimy. It's just
Right, exactly.
when I was in
And
Jamaica, I had
depending,
to eat that raw. Like when I was in
That
Jamaica,
was
my
a good
grandma made
call.
me eat that raw, like not
I
cooked,
like
just
Yeah.
it
pick it
raw.
and pop it.
Oh, baby, we liked it raw.
But see, when you eat it raw, it's not as slimy. It's the cooking that makes it
It's
slimy.
yeah.
And also, if you chop it really tiny, like I know Africans, they tend to chop it slimy so that they chop
Tiny.
it small, tiny, so that it's so slimy. So like gaming with CJ was like, he was talking about Africa and he's still like ignorant to that rich culture. He's like, I don't know a whole lot, but I'm still learning. We're with you gaming with CJ. We're still learning too, right? He said Africa has as profound and thoughtful folklore and storytelling as any other continent.
Hmm.
I'm admittedly a comparative ignorant to that rich culture still. So it's like we're all still learning, right? We're all still growing. So that's where I learned. I was like, oh, the Africans, they cook their okra, they chop it so tiny that, and maybe Jamaicans too. That's what makes it
We
super
normally,
slimy.
one way that I like it too is we put it on fish, like we'll steam fish. That's like my best. Put it on, like I'm a fish girl. I love fish, and steam. This is how my sister in law got me to like her. Don't tell anybody. She steamed the fish, and she put the okra on the fish and crackers and dumplings, and I'm a dumpling girl too. And me and her were
Mm,
best friends after that day. But
Yeah.
I like it certain ways. I
right.
don't eat it every way, but certain ways it tastes good. But the way you talked about the meat, and I've always said, because I'm no vegetarian from Adventist, right? And they always have the vegetarian meat. Is it kind of
Mm.
the same thing? Is it the kind of the same, or is it different? Have you ever tried that type of meat, the vegetarian
Yeah. It's
meat?
definitely different. Coming from me, major reformed carnivore, but yeah, it's definitely different because you could do so many things with this one particular meat. A lot of times they kind of pre-suggest with the vegetarian meat, like if you get a Boca burger, then that's a burger. If you get a what's another
Those
thing?
strips, those chicken
Those
strips
chicken
from
strips.
Gardein.
But with Laquita's garden meat, the way she seasons it and prepares it, you can use it for deli meat. You can use it for pizza topping. You can use it for
Gaming with
lasagna.
CJ said, I ate some rice with meat,
Meat,
Hmm.
plus a bottle of
bottle of
Fiji
Fiji
water.
water.
And that's great, CJ, because rice, whole grain, perfect. It grew out of the ground. That's the whole point. If we Whole foods are the plan. So look, if you eat the meat, what else did you have with it? Rice, perfect.
Now,
Yeah. So
CJ, I do see this is the reason why I didn't like pizza, right? I told you guys that. See, he said he watched Ninja Turtles movie and they ate tons of pizza. They did. They did. They ate pizza like
We,
crazy, and I thought it was turtle
yeah.
food, so I wouldn't touch it.
Man,
and
we
we.
love pizza. We still
Mhm.
eat pizza, and that's one thing that we can do with this meat. I add it to the sauce because I can use it like
You
ground
make pizza
ground beef.
with vegetables too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The garden meat.
It could be like pepperoni.
Yeah, we can slice it like pepperoni. Fiji is the loyal and proud sponsor, CJ. Haha. That's what no brainer language just said.
Really?
But yeah, so it's flexible. So that's the thing. Eat it just on sandwiches. Yep, turtle food. We love turtle food. So yep. So I make pizza, and I can put that garden meat on it. And because it has the texture of meat, meat eaters, like we've given it to so many meat eaters and they love it. They're like, oh, this is good.
Turtle food.
Pizza equals human and turtle
Turtle
food.
food.
Name with CJ.
But they are humanistic. They're anthropomorphic turtles, so technically they have a human aspect to them. So
Yeah. But yes. So health I think is the only thing that I always love to touch on because we all eat, and when we look at health from a perspective of eating whole foods, not so much about saying, "Oh, I need to stop doing this," or "I know I need to get away." No, no, no. Just talk about what you need to do, and
Right.
then you're already on a path for success. So definitely, I'm a meat lover pizza. So gaming with CJ, if you're a meat lover pizza, that's where you just got to make sure you add your vegetables
Add your
because the
vegetables
pizza
and on the side of
sauce,
right.
make it a supreme.
make it a supreme, because the supreme has sausage, pepper, because we know we have not always eaten this way. We just started eating just whole foods in May of 2020, right? So before that, we were just eating pork pepperoni, pork bacon, pork sausage or beef sausage, all of those things, right? Ground beef and everything. And so we just switched over, and but we did eat supreme. We always ate lots of vegetables. So on our pizza, there would be pepperoni, sausage, and ground beef, as
Peppers,
as well as peppers,
onions,
onions, mushrooms,
olives,
olives, whatever you like, broccoli. Yeah, you can do so many things.
spinach.
Yeah, spinach has always
My
been
favorite,
a
one of my favorites used to be an anchovy pineapple spinach pizza.
really.
Yep, yep, that was pretty good.
The pineapple, a lot of people like sweet and savory. That's one of my not favorite ones,
See,
but
I love fruits, but I don't like when it's mixed with like pineapple on pizza. For me, it's not.
right.
It's no. I wouldn't. I pick it off, and then if I pick
Yep,
it off and I still taste the sweetness, I'm like, no. Like, eat it after. Put it on the side. Let me eat my pizza, then I eat the pineapples. But to do it together, that flavor for me is not great. Not that
right.
great.
Exactly. That's for me too.
Hello, married man. Married man is in the house.
Hello, good to see
Good to
you.
see
Married
you
man, I know
here.
what your avatar looks like. It looks like
It's looking sad, huh?
And Spoke Audio is in the house. Hey, Robert. Good to have you here. And
Hello,
Wayne is in the
hello.
house too. They're coming in at yeah. Hello, Wayne. Good to have you in the house. Moni Johnson is in the house tonight, and he's saying
Mm,
hello. Hi, hi, hi. Good to see you, Moni. Good to see you in the house. Rodrigo says, "Hey, Laquita, say some sweet potato is the absolute best carb, especially compared to any rice type. Any take on that? Tell me
absolutely, I
sweet.
have a take on that. You know what? So instead of saying sweet potato is the absolutely best carb compared to any rice type, I would definitely say it's not. It's not.
it's definitely a
There's
superfood.
both of them are superfoods. Like,
Mm.
say for example, when you look at sweet potatoes, they do have calcium. They have potassium, more potassium than potatoes, right?
Bananas.
They,
Oh,
I'm sorry, more potassium than bananas. Yes,
mm.
thank you. They do have vitamin C, vitamin
Right.
A,
Fiber.
fiber. Fiber is the first thing. They have carotenoids, which help your eyesight. That's what kind of gives it that orange color.
Iron.
Iron,
Iron
yeah.
too.
Say that again.
Said iron as well. Said iron.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then rice, I have to look up some of the details of rice, but I know definitely rice gives you that fiber, right? And so what I always look at is, rather than looking at what is the best carb, I don't put them in those categories as far as carbs or proteins or whatever. So I more or less look at what is the what are the nutrients in it, right? Like what are the nutrients in it? So rice, I pulled up some rice. They're nutrient rich, vitamin B6, thiamine, phosphorus, magnesium. So they have those things in them. They also have they're rich antioxidants. All whole foods are. So the sweet potatoes and the rice are both rich in antioxidants.
So no brainer. Eat sweet potato rice.
There you go. Slice up some sweet potato, eat it on top of the rice, eat it alongside the rice. I always look at, it's not necessarily the food as much as it is the nutrients in the food. Like, not just this or just that.
It's also the combinations, right? The way they combination you combine the foods, because that's why you see
Yeah.
a lot of cultures like in Africa and South America and some of those places
Well, anywhere
that
though.
they have a lot of combination foods like stews and other types of dishes that combine lots of different plant based
More than one
nutrients.
ingredient,
Hmm.
not even just plant-based ingredients, but say for example, if we're eating a sandwich, whoever just eats a piece of bread and say I ate a sandwich, you eat things in combination because it
The
tastes
same,
better,
right?
the nutrients come in better. Pizza, it's in combination, right?
Lasagna.
Lasagna, yeah, soup, any kind of soup. You there's not one ingredient in soup, there's at least three. Or it's not soup. That's how you end up with stone soup. That's a different story.
You know what?
That's what stone soup
CJ's
is.
CJ's saying he needs to grow his muscles.
Grow it with food, let me tell you. So, growing your muscles, carbs, all carbs are like the fuel. There's a movie, Game Changers, where they talk about how, like it's popular right now for
All
athletes.
plants.
Say that
You
again.
mean all plants or all carbs?
Carbs are the fuel.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, I got
carbs are
you.
the fuel for growing muscle. People think it's protein, but a lot of pro athletes right now, they are looking at whole foods to grow their muscles, like rice, potatoes, quinoa, so all the grains, corn, all the vegetables, right? Parsnips, garlic, onions, broccoli, kale, spinach, cabbage, all of these things, different fruits. So when you look at Game Changers, that's a movie that talks specifically about how all of these bodybuilders, they bulked up without chemicals just by eating whole foods. Whatever grows out of the ground, they were tearing it up and they are bodybuilding, and yeah, they're doing it. And they ate a lot of rice and potatoes in that movie.
Hmm. And if any of you follow professional football, a few years ago on the what they call now the Washington football team, there was a player there who his name was Shawn Taylor, rest in
Mm.
peace. He changed his lifestyle to become plant based. He became plant based, and he was already a beast, but he got bigger, faster, and
Ah,
stronger once he switched over. And the coaches were concerned that he wasn't going to be the same player when he switched over to that lifestyle, but he actually got leaner, stronger, faster, better. So,
which is where the Daniel fast comes from. You know how they say, "Oh, let's go on the Daniel fast." It's inspired from that lifestyle. That's how you grow your muscles.
There you go, CJ. He said that's what my grandmother calls me. We have people coming in and chatting, doing things that they should not be doing. Hello.
No, they're
Okay,
chatting.
Rodriguez says spinach is what you're looking for. Spinach, I think he said he put something in his sandwich. Yeah, CJ says I love spinach on his Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know what? We do get it on our subs. Even when we used to eat meat, we would definitely put spinach. Like, so instead of just romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce or mixed green spinach, because it's powerful, all of those dark green leafy vegetables, that's where you get the iron, the calcium, and all of the nutrients that are really going to power you up. So, and of course, fiber is there as well.
And spinach goes great with a lot of things like pizza. It's a great pizza topping. It's a great, like you said, sandwich topping.
Sandwiches.
But it's also a great. There's one
It
more.
goes great with breakfast. So if you're
Yeah,
eating eggs,
omelets, right? Yeah, it was
yeah.
one more. It's like it's pizza. Oh, lasagna. It goes great in lasagna too.
Ah, yes.
Rodrigo said, seriously, muscle growth involves healthy protein, healthy fat, and healthy carbs. More of the fats, moderate protein, and lower carbs. Eggs and avocados can get most people covered.
Mm. Yeah. So a lot of the doctors that we follow, Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Milton Mills, I told you my main one who
Yes.
inspired me, especially Dr. Milton Mills. He's got a mic drop, quite a few mic drops, where he discusses how to build that muscle, how to really get yourself into top notch condition. So Dr. Milton Mills speaks on that, not necessarily from like healthy protein, healthy fat, and healthy carbs, but he says the specific foods. He talks about, hey, eat beans, eat seeds. So all of those nuts, don't worry. These are the things that build you muscle. is, get your almonds, get your walnuts, throw those things into a smoothie, throw those things into a soup, throw those things into a salad. He talks specifically about the food. So yeah,
Yeah,
rather
check
than
those doctors out. Like she said, Dr. Milton Mills, he has a whole series on, about building muscle and
yeah,
increasing your strength. And like she said, they film game changers. Like I said, these aren't just, everyday Joe averages. These are bodybuilders, professional athletes that have made the switch to a plant-based lifestyle, and they're showing how they've still been able to maintain and build muscle,
with specific foods.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think Dr. Mills, a lot of plant based doctors, they say it best. Like, you never seen an elephant eat a piece of chicken.
Right,
You
right, right.
never seen a cow eat a steak.
They're so big,
But
yeah.
they're full of muscle mass, and they're getting it all from the ground. And
Yeah.
like Dr.
That is so
Mills,
true.
Dr. Milton Mills says that where the protein that you get from the meat, where do you think they're getting it from? It's the animals eating the plants that they're eating. They're getting, because the plants are key builders of amino acids, and so amino acids are the key to protein. So if you're
Hmm.
interested in protein, get it from the plants that they are. Cut out the middleman.
Plants.
Well, cut out the middle mammal.
Right.
Cut out the middle mammal and
Go
eat the
straight to the
plants.
plants, right?
Yeah.
CJ says he has a lot of carbs reserved in his belly.
You know what? Some of us do, so we're
Some of us,
not
a
gonna.
lot of us
Yeah.
do. A lot of
Ooh,
us
we
do.
do. We currently do. This has been
I
great.
actually love rice. As a
Mm.
Brazilian, black beans are a must. Green leaves bring tons of of those nutrients. Thanks, Aquita, for your input. And those whole foods mentioned are indeed real food.
Yeah, thank you, no brainer languages. I agree. Go for the black beans, the garbanzo or chickpeas, go for the lentils, go for whatever you like. Great Northerns, pinto, black eyed peas, any of the beans, but we do eat a lot of black beans here too.
I got a question for no brainer languages.
Go
If you're a
ahead,
no
Bert.
brainer person, if you're a no brainer person, how do you have languages?
Hmm, pondering.
No brain, but you got languages. No, no brainer. Thank you, man, for all the great input. But thank you, Samantha, for having us on this show. This was great.
Yes,
We had a great
definitely
time
an
with you
awesome night.
guys.
And Corey,
Absolutely.
listen, Laquita, you said it in the beginning. Words, you spoke it, right? It's gonna be an awesome night, awesome conversation. I think that's what you said earlier
Mm,
when you first came in, right?
mm-hmm.
Looking forward to some
Mm-hmm.
fun conversation. That is what you
Yes.
said. That
When
was
the
your
chat.
first comment when we came in tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Um, I'm going to close. I don't want to keep you guys up late because I'm not trying to have Corey mad at me tomorrow. Um, no Braden says I've also been working on a construction for years along with my career. Eggs are my absolute favorite food ever. I have a lot of greens, garlic and onions too. Garlic is my thing. I love garlic.
That's it.
I drink garlic, like, I drink garlic. I literally drink garlic is the best
Mm.
antibiotic. That is me.
It is a
Um
good food. And definitely those three, adding greens, garlic, and onions to your eggs, that used to be one of my go-tos. Like, yeah, that, like I said, make sure as long as you're getting in your vegetables, your fruits, your whole grains, just make sure you're getting those things in. Oh, CJ, gaming with
Gotta
CJ, glad
go.
you're here.
No problem, CJ.
It's
Thank you for
nice
being
being
here.
here. I
And
gotta
he's
go.
always in the chat doing his job because someone came in here putting some foolishness and he said I had to put someone on timeout. Thanks, CJ.
Uh-oh. Thank
Thank you, thank you,
you.
thank
Thank you,
you.
CJ.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Rodrigo say, "Hey CJ, you want to build muscles to take care of those spammers? I see, ha ha ha." Yes. So we're gonna give you a lot of greens, veggies to keep these spammers out of here. Well, thank you
Yes.
so much. Oh my gosh! Before I go though, I wanted to just share if anybody wants to support. I know you guys have a page on, and I wanted to share that as well. So
Oh,
if
buy
you
me
guys
a
could check
coffee.
it out, yes, I wanted to share that. Just 2 seconds. I'm going to share it because I think this is the screen, right? Let me jump to this. There it goes. Perfect. You guys can still see this, right? So if anyone want to go and check out their merch, because I do have a merch store as well on Press
Yes.
and Soul. So please go. I am wearing All the Way Live. So please go and check them out and you can purchase, you can support. here as well. You can also go to their Buy Me a Coffee page as well. And also, that proceeds is going to their nonprofit, and they're doing big things, okay? They're doing great things. They are thinking big and big and big and big. So please check out their nonprofit, check out their website, and follow their streams and follow their shows because they are definitely making a mark. And I want to thank everyone for being in the chat tonight. Corey Marie, I'm not going to call you guys blind guys because that's my name for you guys. Corey Marie, I really appreciate you guys being here tonight and sharing. See if I can find the right one. Sharing so much with us tonight. Really excited about tonight's stream and definitely we'll do this again. Okay. So, any closing remarks from you guys before I let you guys go? And then we'll do a outro and say goodnight to everyone.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. This has been great. I was reading some of the chat to Corey, and I was reading where No Brainer Languages said, haha, Corey, I hope my connection is not lagging as I reply here. I'm glad I made it to the end.
Yes,
Yeah.
he stayed throughout the end, and he always come in, and it's always the same, and he's always here. He's always like one of the last ones in the stream.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thank you for having us. So,
Yeah, it's been a great time, great experience. Thank you for having us. And everybody, the way we always say goodbye to everybody is we just say deuces.
deuces.
Yeah.
Deuces. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a
Oh,
great,
Tony
great
Johnson said, "Have a
night.
good everyone. Have a good nice night."
Thank you guys so much for being here. So thank you for. I still have Sammy on here. Thank you for being here. You guys can hang out for a quick second, and I am going to say good night to everyone else. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you guys back on Tuesday. Tuesday, yes. And I do have another interview next week, so stick around for that as well. Have a good night and close it out.